What's going on, everybody out there? It's Ron Brown, LMT, the People's Fitness Professional, aka Soul Brother number one, reporting for duty. And this is another episode of NYP Talk Show. We got Civil Letter in the building, Abdullah, and Yes Real. Tonight we're going to review the podcast that we did with these brothers prior, based on the United States in colonialization. So here's a review. Before we go into the review, I'm going to run this commercial and we'll go right into it.
Peace family. Welcome to NYP Talk Show. This is more than a podcast. It's a conscious platform rooted in truth and culture. From the 5% Nation, Nation of Islam, Moorish movement, and Masonry. Our mission is to reclaim our narrative and uplift the African diaspora with real stories and real conversations. Support us through super chats during live shows, donations on Cash App, GoFundMe, Patreon, or Buzzsprout, and by repping our official merch, available on our website and right here on YouTube's merch shelf. Every dollar, every super chat, every hoodie builds the movement. This is NYP Talk Show.
All right, we're back. Let's go right into it. Did the United States end colonialization? We're going right into the review. I'm going to put the slide up right now, and you brothers can take it away.
All right. Peace, everyone. Peace.
So
the title for today's presentation is a review of Did the United States End Colonization? First, we have this flyer. The Circle of Brothers and Families United for Solutions presents the 15th annual Kwanzaa celebration. Kuji self-determination. To the left side, Mistress of Ceremonies, Bailey Jeremy, Master of Ceremonies, Brother Reggie Mitchell, keynote speaker, Dr. Jesse Fields, dancers, drummers, music, spoken word, special guests. Please donate at PayPal, COBINC 216 at AOL.com. HTTPS GoFundMe/942576 CDD. What's this? Nguzo Saba.
Nguzo Saba. Yeah.
Nguzo Saba. The 7 principles. Mm-hmm. Try to widen this so I can see. Umoja, meaning unity. Mm-hmm. Kuji Chagulia, meaning self-determination.
Kuji
Jagalia. Okay. Ujima, collect, meaning collective work and responsibility. Ujama, meaning cooperative economics. Nia, meaning purpose. Kumba, meaning creativity. And Imani, meaning faith. Co-sponsors, Bahamian American Association, Big Man Entertainment, Brothers in Recovery, Harlem Transformation Project, Living Redemption, Man of Purpose, Peacemakers Project, Harmony, Street Corner Resources, TBS, New Directions, You Can Change, Inc. Vendors, call Brother Reggie Mitchell at 646-633-7539. And this event takes place Saturday, December 27th, 2025 at St. Charles Borromeo Church at 211 West 141 West 141st.
Harlem in the building. Harlem in the building. 10039
from 12 to 4 p.m. call 212-662-2878 or 646-248-3353 for info. In association with the Knights of Peter Claver.
I'll be in the house, and then Ron said that he'll be in the house too. So I will be there, vending. Raheem, Abdullah Bay. There'll be quite a few conscious Moors will be there in the house. Networking, building. Luisa Flores, she'll be in the house. She works with us. So I'm excited. I attended last year. That was my for the first time. I did Vin, and so I'm excited to go back to be. So I just wanted Israel to put this up so we can let people know about the event and that we will be in the house. We'll do pictures. We'll take pictures and lives and everything. So I'm excited. All right, thank you, Ron.
You're welcome.
For allowing us to market this.
Oh no, come on, man. That's what this is for, man. This platform is for everybody. You want to promote whatever you want to promote. If you want to promote your, whatever, fezzes, you're selling fezzes, you're selling this, you're selling that, you're vending, you're welcome. You're welcome.
All right, so I can, tell you, we'll actually put my books up there next time too. All right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yep. So we'll make slides for that. Yeah, in fact, I got some for that. Yeah.
The slides and whatever you have, you're vending. So you're vending your books and all of that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's put all that up there.
All right.
So I'll get it together. Yeah, we'll definitely get those.
Yeah, we get that. Thank you, Israel.
You're welcome. All right. Excuse me. So let's get started. Review. Did the phrase "in the United States," as used in a geographical sense, come about through the various land boundary cession treaties with indigenous Moorish tribes, wherein we agreed to transfer our territorial sovereignty rights to our lands to the new extension of colonial powers called the United States? Or did the phrase "in the United States," as used in a geographical sense, come about through the various land boundary cession treaties whereby Great Britain, Spain, France, Russia, and the United States of Mexico transferred their territorial sovereignty over our lands to the new extension of colonial powers called the United States? The answer. The phrase "in the United States," as used in a geographical sense, came about through the various land boundary cession treaties wherein Great Britain, Spain, France, Russia, and the United States of Mexico transferred their territorial sovereignty over our Moorish lands to the United States. Cession treaties are land titles in international law. This is a continuation of European discovery, conquest, subjugation, colonization of our lands, and the continued subjugation of our people. Article 4, Section 3 of the United States Constitution is how our land is managed under the authority of the United States Congress. So we're going to get into some cession treaties. We're going to read articles of treaties, so we can view the same thing that Brother Abdullah and I viewed in order to make these conclusions, to come to our conclusion, to make these statements, to make these slides, make these claims. So we're going to review the evidence. This is the 1762 definitive act of cession of Louisiana by the King of France to the King of Spain. It is also known as the 1762 secret Treaty of Fontainebleau. Louis, by the grace of God, King of France and Navarre, to all to whom these presents shall come, greeting. Whereas our very dear and well-beloved cousin, the Duke de Choiseul, peer of our realm, Knight of our orders and of the Golden Fleece, Lieutenant General of our armies, Governor of Touraine, Colonel General of the Swiss and Grisons, Grand Master and Superintendent General of the Posts and Relays of France, our Minister and Secretary of State for the Departments of War and Marine and the correspondence with the courts of Madrid and Lisbon, did sign in our name with the Marquis de Grimaldi, Knight of our orders, gentlemen of the chamber, in exercise of our very dear and well-beloved brother, and cousin, the Catholic king, and his ambassador extraordinary near us, a preliminary convention whereby, in order to give to our said brother and cousin in a new testimonial of our tender friendship, of the strongest interest which we take in satisfying him and promoting the welfare of his crown, of our sincere desire to strengthen and render indissoluble the bonds which unite the French and Spanish nations, we ceded to him entire and perpetual possession of all the country known under the name of Louisiana, together with New Orleans and the island in which that city stands, which convention had only been signed conditionally and sub sperati by the Marquis de Grimaldi. And whereas our said brother and cousin, the Catholic king, animated by the same sentiments towards us, which we have evinced on this occasion, has agreed to the said session and ratified the conditional acceptation made by his said ambassador extraordinary, which convention and ratification are here inserted word for word as follows. Continuation. Don Carlos, by the grace of God, King of Castile, of Leon, of Aragon, of the two Sicilies, of Jerusalem, of Navarre, of Granada, of Toledo, of Valencia, of Galicia, of Majorca, of Seville, of Sardinia, of Cordova, of Corsica, of Murcia, of Jaen, of the Algarves, of Algeciras, of Gibraltar, of the Canary Islands, of the East and West Indies, and the islands and main island of the ocean, Archduke of Austria, Duke of Burgundy, of Brabant and Milan, Count of Habsburg, of Flanders, of Tyrol, and of Barcelona, Lord of Biscay and of Molina, etc. Whereas on the 3rd day of the present month, the preliminaries of a peace were signed between the crown of Spain and France on the one part, and those of England and Portugal on the other. And the most Christian king, my very dear and well-beloved cousin, purely from the nobleness of his heart and the love and friendship in which we live, thought proper to dispose that the Marquis de Grimaldi, my ambassador extraordinary near his royal person, and the Duke de Choiseul, his minister of state, should on the same day sign a convention by which the crown of France ceded immediately to that of Spain the country known by the name of Louisiana, together with New Orleans and the island in which that city stands, and by which said ambassador agrees to the cession only conditionally sub sperati, as he is not furnished with orders to execute it absolutely. The tenor of which convention is the following. The most Christian king, being firmly resolved to strengthen and perpetuate the bonds of tender amity which unite him to his cousin, the Catholic king, proposes in consequence to act with his Catholic majesty at all times and all circumstances in a perfect uniformity of principle for the common glory of their house and the reciprocal interest of their kingdoms. With this view, his most Christian majesty, being fully sensible of the sacrifices made by the Catholic king and generously uniting with him for the restoration of peace, desires on this occasion to give him a proof of the strong interest which he takes in satisfying him and affording advantages to his crown. The most Christian king has accordingly authorized his minister, the Duke de Choiseul, to deliver up to the Marquis de Grimaldi, the ambassador of the Catholic king, in the most authentic form, an act whereby his most Christian majesty cedes in entire possession, purely and simply, without exception, to his Catholic majesty and his successors in perpetuity, all the country known under the name of Louisiana, as well as New Orleans and the island in which that place stands. But as the Marquis de Grimaldi is not informed with sufficient precision of the intentions of his Catholic majesty, he has thought proper only to accept the said cession conditionally and sub sperati. until he receives the orders expected by him from the king his master, which if conformable with the desires of his most Christian majesty, as he hopes they will be followed by the authentic act of cession of the said country, stipulating also the measures and the time, to be fixed by common accord, by the evacuation of Louisiana and New Orleans, by the subjects of his most Christian majesty, and for the possession of the same by those of his Catholic majesty. In testimony whereof, we, the respective ministers, have signed the present preliminary convention and have affixed to it the seals of our arms. Done at Fontainebleau on the 3rd of November, 1762, the Duc de Choiseul, the Marquis de Grimaldi.
And this type of study is needed. You know, as we going through the treaties, this type of study is needed. We're showing the chain of custody.
Yeah. The change of custody.
The chain of custody.
The chain
of custody. When you read our treaty cases, when they're dealing with the case summaries of treaty cases, and when they're particularly dealing with cessions or a transfer of land from one state to another, though in the treaties, in the beginning of the treaty summary, a case summary, they'll go through the history of the chain of custody of that particular property.
Right.
It's called the chain of custody, or chain of transfer, various of the property, and that's what we're showing. Mm-hmm. So the claim is, did the United States end colonization? Mm-hmm. As Israel said, that we wanted people to look at how we draw the conclusion. So as people won't say Abdullah and Israel said, they don't need to say that. There's no need to say that. We're showing you the evidence. So because this type of study is very important. It has not a lot of conscious more because they don't know it. But we have to step our game up. We have to raise, the standard. It's too much so-and-so said. So-and-so said. That is weak. We cannot continue with that. We cannot pass that down to our children. That cannot be a legacy that we give our children. Cannot leave that legacy. We cannot leave so-and-so say legacy to our children. We must teach our children critical thinking. There's a book called Asking the Right Question, A Guide to Critical Thinking.
Yeah, I think we presented that on this.
Yeah, we presented, yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a few episodes ago, a while ago, actually, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think not too long ago.
Evidentiary standards, the misconceptions.
Evidentiary standard, yeah, misconceptions. That was about a month ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the chain of custody. This is where the chain of custody in 1762 Spain.
Went from France to Spain.
Right. Listen, I'm telling you, the brother Morel Smith L. If you watch his video and you put this video together, and all the videos that you've done here,
yes,
it'll all tie the information together. I think you and that brother, you two and that brother.
No, we gonna look at it. Yeah, we got this week. Israel and I will check it out. Now that you're saying that,
yeah.
Because if that's the case, Ron, we want to reach out to him.
Yeah,
and we can collaborate. Myself, Israel, we can collaborate. I mean, we're open to doing that.
All right. So we kind of got the concept of this. I'll go to the next or to the question, better yet. So the question, we just read the Treaty of Fontainebleau, or the 1762 Definitive Act of Cession of Louisiana by the King of Spain. So did France return the conquered and colonized land to the indigenous people of the said land through this treaty? Or did France continue to keep the conquered lands under colonial occupation by ceding it to Spain in this treaty? And the answer would be France continued to keep the conquered land under colonial occupations by ceding it to Spain, as we all read or viewed in this treaty, in the 1762 Treaty of Fontainebleau.
So the status of the land never changed. It still remained. France conquered. Spain didn't conquer. Spain did not conquer. So France acquired the land through conquest. Spain acquired the land through cession treaty, meaning transfer of the land through a legal instrument, i.e. treaty. But France acquired it through conquest. Spain acquired it from France through cession. So Spain is not the conqueror of the land. That Louisiana territory, Spain is not the conqueror. It's France is, and France is the one under King Louis XIV authority.
Yeah.
France is the one that surveyed. France created the survey map, not Spain's.
Yeah.
Spain didn't create the survey map. France created the survey map. Spain, which is the title for France, on conquest title for France, is the survey map. So France transfers. Now the title for Spain is the treaty. The treaty we just read, the Fontainebleau Treaty, is the title for Spain. Along with that, so the survey map, the boundaries are already set by France, the artificial boundaries of the conquest. Mm-hmm. So now Spain acquired territorial sovereignty through the treaty, Fontainebleau.
Yeah.
We're explaining the chain of custody. That the status of the land is still conquered to this day, as of today, to November 26, 2025, at 7:23 Eastern Standard Time. The land is still conquered land.
Yes.
It's in the hands of the United States now. The status of the land never changed. It's still conquered land. Abdullah, what would remove it from being conquered land? United States now has to what? Turn it over to the native people.
Yep, this first part would have to take place.
Yeah, it has to. Yeah, if other than that, it's still conquered land. I mean, the United States ain't the native people. The signers, the signers of the Articles, the signers of the Declaration of Independence, the Articles of Confederation, the Northwest Ordinance of 1787, United States Constitution, are not the native autochthonous aboriginal people of the land.
Right.
Okay, so what you're saying right now is that the United States now own that?
They're not the proper term, international term. We're going to use the international term. United States has territorial sovereignty. Sovereignty through treaty. Territory. So territories. The United States has territorial sovereignty over the lands through the treaty. Yes, that's the term in international law. Territorial sovereignty. What that means is United States has control over the defined territory as well as the inhabitants.
Yeah, full control. Yep.
Yeah, full control over the defined territory as well as the inhabitants. That includes us. They have control over us.
Yep.
So, United States didn't conquer. United States is not a conqueror. France is. Spain is. Great Britain, the Dutch, they're conquerors. United States is in possession of stolen land, or it was transferred into the hands of the United States, territorial sovereignty through treaties.
So the brother said, so Spain and Portugal came first, but France was the first to survey the land.
No, that portion of land.
Portion of the land.
That portion of the land, not all that portion. I mean, Spain had what is now known as the West Coast. I mean, Spain conquered the West Coast. California, Arizona, Nevada,
New Mexico,
Utah, Colorado. That's New Spain. That's Spain conquered that. France had the Louisiana territory and Canada.
So Spain surveyed the land.
Yes.
For their claim.
Yes, for their claim.
Portugal surveyed the land for their claim. France will survey the land for their claim.
And then the Dutch surveyed the land. The Dutch surveyed the land for their claim. Yeah. And then Great Britain took over. Great Britain took over the 1664 when Great Britain defeated the Dutch. So that New York, Harlem, that's a Dutch word.
When it was
New Amsterdam, Harlem is a Dutch word.
That's Dutch, yeah.
Yeah, New Amsterdam. So New Amsterdam was changed to York, New York, Duke of York. That's the Duke of York. That's Duke of York is now which was it King James II. King James II is Duke of York. Well, it was Duke of York when his brother died in 1682. The Duke of York, James II, ascended to the throne as King James II in 1682
of England.
Of England, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking today because we're talking the chain of custody, meaning the very claim that the United States is making is based on what these treaties. That this is United States. The very claim that they're making a claim that this is the United States. The maps, 2025 map. What is their claim based in? We're showing that. We're talking today. This is the basis of their claim that this is the United States.
Yep.
They ain't gonna go back and forth with us. Because we're showing the evidence. We could talk to international jurists. We could talk to, it don't matter who they are. Because this is the basis of their claim.
Yeah, similar to a deed to a house. Once that deed is transferred, one.
Yeah, same thing. That's the chain of custody. Yeah. Exactly, chain of custody.
And name the house what they want to name it.
And you go back and you did what they call the title search. And it shows you, 100 years, with the transfers. Exactly, through title search. Same concept.
Yeah.
Remember, the people that includes the Europeans are not groomed to think this way because they're groomed. Colonization no more. Colonization ended when the United States defeated Great Britain. No more colonization. Colonization no more. United States, this great country, United States. Colonization is over. Colonization ended in 17 when in the Revolutionary War. Colonization ended.
Yeah, when they stopped calling themselves colonies. Yeah, they think because they stopped using that word.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, you don't go by that. You go by how we're presenting it.
Yeah. The elements, the principles.
And that's deliberate though. The way how we're teaching this, it's deliberate because they don't want people to have this concept that we're presenting.
Yep.
And then another point I want to make I want to say to you, Ron, I wanted to say at this beginning, is that this is a service to the people. All right. People conscious that that's conscious Moors, unconscious Moors, Europeans. There's some that includes Europeans, conscious and unconscious Moors, they only see offering service to the people as giving them food. But this is a service. Educating people is a service.
Yeah.
You're providing a service, Ron. We be clear. Only right. Because you ain't giving out food. This is food. This is mental food. This is a service. You're providing services. This is services. Education's a service. Yeah. It ain't, you know what I mean? No, we don't accept. They don't know what I mean. Education's a service. Meaning, I'm putting this on equal footing and people giving their food. I'm putting this on equal footing and that to that.
We got a creator of Boundaries Universe. Thank you for the $2. Much appreciated. Anything given to us, we appreciate it. Time,
absolutely.
$1 to 20 cents. It doesn't matter. Just your eyes, your ears, whatever. The brother said fraudulent conveyance of title or deed. Okay. I guess he's talking about
yeah, this is not that's not a fraudulent conveyance of title or deed.
Yeah.
That's not.
I don't think that's what's going on right now, brother.
Yeah, I'm trying to, because he put that up there for some reason, but this is not a fraudulent
fraud.
No, I'm saying that we talking about conquest now. This is not. It's conquest, but it's not a. It wouldn't be all right. Meaning that from France to Spain, it's not a fraudulent conveyance of title of deed.
Now I want to ask you this. I want to. Okay, so
let me go ahead.
France and Spain. How was the United States able to acquire territorial sovereignty of that area? Was it done through paperwork? Was it done through a deal?
The Louisiana Purchase Treaty, 1803,
Cession treaties, those type of treaties, cession treaties.
Cession treaties. There's cession, transfer of land from one state to another. Cession.
And those treaties become the titles.
Treaties become title. That's not a fraudulent conveyance of title, right. Not from one to them. That is not. It's conquest. Mm-hmm. But from France to the United States is not a fraudulent conveyance of title. That transfer is not a fraudulent conveyance of title from France to the United States. Now, if he's talking the conquest, yes, we explained that. We explained that it's conquest, that France conquered. We explained all that, but we want to make it clear that the transfer from France to Spain is not a fraudulent conveyance of title or deed.
Right.
We'll make that very clear.
Okay. Now, this says, can you speak briefly on the United States versus the corporate United States, the relationship, the difference, the significance or lack thereof?
All right. Yes. Israel, we're going to have to do something, a presentation, because the concepts, they don't have proper concepts.
We could do it on that.
Yeah, I'm going to give about a minute or two discussion, and then we'll do a whole presentation on it.
Okay.
It's not, we'll do a whole presentation on this. All right. What they're calling, that's so 1871. This is where he's going. 1871, 1913, Delaware, Florida, all right. So an act of Congress, the act of Congress of 1871. Mm-hmm. So you said corporate United States. Congress is a creature of the Constitution. Be clear on that. So Congress was drafted in during 1787. Yeah. Congress was drafted in the Constitution.
Yeah, for the government. Yeah.
Yes, and it's a creature of the Constitution. Mm-hmm. Any legislation the corporate United States, 1871, is a creature of Congress. The Constitution does not give Congress the power to delegate United States legislative power, United States judicial power, United States executive power. Article 1, Section 1 of the United States Constitution. That's the United States legislative power shall be vested. United States legislative power shall be vested. VES. They don't know what the word vested. That's the key is. They don't know the word vested. VES. The key is understanding the word vested.
Everybody
That means fixed.
vested. Yeah.
Not invested, vested. It means fixed. Fixed. So Congress cannot create another United States and transfers that vested power that lies within the United States Congress. The Article 2 section. This is not all that. It's not all that. It's just they don't know the principles. That's all. Ron, what I'm saying ain't all that. They don't understand principles. They're not grounded in principles. I'm not saying anything's complicated.
I didn't comprehend it until I started comprehending the principles.
Tell him, Israel.
Yeah, hey.
That's how he got it.
Yeah,
the
foundation.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's the foundation. They're not grounded in the foundation, Ron. It ain't hard. They ain't stupid. They ain't dumb. They ain't slow. They have been taught misconceptions and they have not been grounded in the foundation. That's all. They can learn it like that. They can learn it like that. Focus on the foundation. So the word is vested. It means fixed, inherited. So you have Article 2, Section 1 of the United States Constitution. The executive power of the United States executive power shall be vested in the presidency of the United States of America. Article 3, Section 1. The United States judicial power shall be vested in one Supreme Court. The word is vested. That's the key word.
Yep.
So I want go to the Constitution and highlight, circle, red, whatever you need to do. The word vested. That the most important word in Article 1, Section 1. Article 1, Section, Article 2, Section 1. Article 3, the most important word is vested.
Yeah.
If they understand vested, they got it.
Somebody put the definition of vested in the comments.
They got it. They ain't got, don't look up the other words.
Yeah.
Look up vested.
Just vested. Yeah.
Just focus on that vested. You understand that, you got it. Because you know, by understanding that vested, you know that Congress cannot legislate anything, nothing, and then delegate that power, because Congress is a creature of the Constitution. I mean, that's it. I just gave foundation. I don't even say anything else. That's the key is foundation. Once you go to foundation, you kill everything else. What else there to discuss? I killed it by going to the foundation. See how simple that is?
Yeah.
I'm showing them that ain't all that. They're reading all because they don't have the they don't understand principles. Congress ain't got no more. Congress is a creature of the Constitution. So those the Act of Congress of 1871 is a creature of Congress. I don't need to read it. What I'm gonna read it for? That United States ain't got more power than that which is in that we the people of the United States. Here we go. We the people of the United States. All right, here we go. In the preamble, we the people of the United States. You got the United States there. Article 1, Section 1. You have the United States there. The legislative power should be vested in the legislative of the United States. You have the United States there. Article 2, Section 1. You got the United States there. The executive power of the United States, executive power should be vested in the presidency of the United States of America. You have the United States there. United States of America. You have Article 3. The judicial power shall be vested in one Supreme Court, United States. Got the United States there. So any other United States don't have constitutional authority.
Right.
Then you have United States in the Articles of Confederation. United States of America. The style name shall be United States of America. You have United States in Article 1 of the 1783 Definitive Peace Treaty. United States, viz. all 13 in name. Got United States there. So you mean to tell me that these other United States that created by Congress has more authority than that which is vested, has vested power? Then you once you understand Congress, say, oh no.
Yeah. It's
I don't care nothing about those other United States.
Mm-hmm.
Why should I care? Why should you care? You should care about the one that has constitutional power authority. That's big. Why y'all worried about these other United States? Because y'all don't have foundation. That's why. Shouldn't you want to be worried about the one that has constitutional authority?
Yeah.
Huh? Like, why were you worried about the other United States? Who gives a crap?
Yeah, they're worried about congressional authority.
The United States Congress is a creature of the Constitution.
Yep.
See, once you step off of that foundation, then you can be had. Once you don't, because they don't have foundation. Israel.
Yeah.
So they're caught up with all the other stuff. They can be. You can tell they can be easily misled. You can tell they can easily be misled. They can just say anything. Boo 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 boo. I mean, they say anything because they don't have the foundation.
Yep.
And that's what the problem is.
Yeah, we'll definitely zoom in on that.
Yeah, we'll zoom in on that. Yeah, but yeah, we can move on. I just wanted to go straight to foundation. Yep. I don't know how to teach it because
it's the only way. So this is the 1763 Treaty of Paris between France and Great Britain. Article 4. His Most Christian Majesty renounces all pretensions which he has heretofore formed or might have formed to Nova Scotia or Acadia in all its parts, and guarantees the whole of it and with all its dependencies to the King of Great Britain. Moreover, his Most Christian Majesty cedes and guarantees to his said Britannic Majesty in full right Canada with all its dependencies, as well as the island of Cape Breton and all the other islands and coasts in the Gulf and river of St. Lawrence, and in general everything that depends on the said countries, lands, islands, and coasts, with the sovereignty, property, possession, and all rights acquired by treaty or otherwise, which the Most Christian King and the Crown of France have had till now over the said countries, lands, islands, places, coasts, and their inhabitants, so that the Most Christian King cedes and makes over the whole to the said King and to the Crown of Great Britain, and that in the most ample manner and form, without restriction, and without any liberty to depart from the said cession and guarantee under any pretense, or to disturb Great Britain in the possessions above mentioned. His Britannic Majesty on his side agrees to grant the liberty of the Catholic religion to the inhabitants of Canada. He will in consequence give the most precise and most effectual orders that his new Roman Catholic subjects may profess the worship of their religion according to the rites of the Romish Church, as far as the laws of Great Britain permit. His Britannic Majesty farther agrees that the French inhabitants or others who have been subjects of the most Christian king in Canada may retire with all safety and freedom wherever they shall think proper, and may sell their estates, provided it be to the subjects of His Britannic Majesty, and bring away their effects as well as their persons about without being restrained in their immigration under any pretense whatsoever, except that of debts or of criminal prosecutions. The term limited for this immigration shall be fixed. The term limited for this immigration shall be fixed to the space of 18 months, to be computed from the day of the exchange of the ratification of the present treaty. Continuation, 1763, Treaty of Paris between France and Great Britain, but this is Article 6. So we just read Article 4. Now we're reading Article 6 of the same treaty. The King of Great Britain seized the islands of St. Pierre and Miquelon in full right to His Most Christian Majesty to serve as a shelter to the French fishermen, and His said Most Christian Majesty engages not to fortify the said islands, to erect no buildings upon them, but merely for the conveniency of the fishery, and to keep upon them a guard of 50 men only for the police. This is Article 7 of the same treaty. In order to reestablish peace on solid and durable foundations, and to remove forever all subject of dispute with regard to the limits of the British and French territories on the continent of America, it is agreed that for the future, the confines between the dominions of His Britannic Majesty and those of His Most Christian Majesty in that part of the world shall be fixed irrevocably by a line drawn along the middle of the river Mississippi, from its source to the river Iberville, and from thence by a line drawn along the middle of this river and the lakes Mauropas and the Pontchartrain to the sea. And for this purpose, the Most Christian King cedes in full right and guarantees to His Britannic Majesty the river and port of the Mobile and everything which he possesses or ought to possess on the left side of the river Mississippi, except the town of New Orleans and the island in which it is situated, which shall remain to France, provided that the navigation of the river Mississippi shall be equally free, as well to the subjects of Great Britain as to those of France, in its whole breadth and length, from its source to the sea, and expressly that part which is between the said island of New Orleans and the right bank of that river, as well as the passage both in and out of its mouth. It is farther stipulated that the vessels belonging to the subjects of either nation shall not be stopped, visited, or subjected to the payment of any duty whatsoever. The stipulations asserted in the 4th article in favor of the inhabitants of Canada shall also take place with regard to the inhabitants of the country ceded by this article. Then we have Article 6, where the Most Christian King cedes and guarantees to His Britannic Majesty in full right the islands of Grenada and the Grenadines, with the same stipulations in favor of the inhabitants of this colony, inserted in the 4th article for those of Canada, and the partition of the islands called neutral is agreed and fixed so that those of St. Vincent, Dominico, and Tobago shall remain in full right to Great Britain, and that of St. Lucia shall be delivered to France to enjoy the same likewise in full right. And the high contracting parties guarantee the partition so stipulated. This is Article 10, same treaty. His Britannic Majesty shall restore to France the island of Goree in the condition it was when conquered, and His Most Christian Majesty cedes in full right and guarantees to the King of Great Britain the river Senegal, with the forts and factories of St. Louis, Podor, and Galam, and with all the rights and dependencies of the said river Senegal.
Peace. Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, my internet just, I don't know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, just a lot of people on my internet right now. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay.
My bad.
All right.
Sorry about that.
Good. So this is Article 20 of the same treaty. In consequence of the restitution stipulated in the
and I forgot to say, I just want to say this real quick. I got trolls in the chat who just want to troll because I know what they trolling about. You can't do nothing, man. You're a hater. Stop it. You gotta stop, man. You're not gonna stop. You're not gonna stop me what I'm doing. You're a hater. Keep it going. Do your
Right on.
keep going and keep trolling. You can troll as long as you can, as long as you want. I'm gonna just keep blocking you.
Right.
You know, when you have when you have a channel and when you're out in the public, people will like
Yeah.
troll you. It's like, come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now.
They don't have anything positive to offer. I mean, add value to what we're doing. I mean, like what you tearing down for? We trying to rebuild it.
Yeah.
Right.
Any claims, just use evidence to support your claims. That's
Please, if you have any evidence to support your claim, please put it up there, because
Right.
my name Ron Brown is on the internet like crazy. I've been with the same people for years, doing the same thing for years. So
Yep.
keep going, man, with that. Come on, man. What happens is people get stuff happens. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, hold on. Okay, drop a link and I will post the information. Post it right in the comments. I don't even know why I'm entertaining this. It doesn't even make sense because I know me and my history, and everybody around me know me and my history. So this foolishness about being an agent is stupid.
Yeah, you ain't no agent, brother. You ain't no agent. Hell with that. Hell
I
no.
don't think an agent's gonna let us present this much information.
Hell no. Hell no.
Breaking it down like this in order.
No way. No way. No way. We've been on this platform. We've been on this platform since April of this year.
We didn't make the information up.
Yeah, we've been. Ron has opened his platform. In fact, Ron reached out to me in March of this year. He reached out to me and offered the platform.
Exactly. What you saying the last episode, Abdullah, he said, bring the FBI on. We can teach them. They can learn something.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh no, they will learn. They don't know this. Oh, they don't know this. Oh yeah, they won't learn.
Yo, and whoever is that, you dudes are clowns. You got nothing else better to do. You don't have a life. You're a loser. You're a loser. With the L like this on your head.
Oh my God.
Platform and do something with your life, you clowns. All right, yeah, my bad. Go ahead, y'all. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. All right, back to the scheduled program. So Article 20 of the same treaty, 1763 Treaty of Paris between France and Great Britain. In consequence of the restitution stipulated in the preceding article, His Catholic Majesty cedes and guarantees in full right to His Britannic Majesty, Florida, with Fort St. Augustine and the Bay of Pensacola, as well as all that Spain possesses on the continent of North America, to the east or to the southeast of the river Mississippi, and in general everything that depends on the said countries and lands, with the sovereignty, property, possessions, and all rights acquired by treaties or otherwise, which the Catholic King and the Crown of Spain have had till now over the said countries, lands, places, and their inhabitants, so that the Catholic King cedes and makes over the whole to the said King and to the Crown of Great Britain, and that in the most ample manner and form. His Britannic Majesty agrees on his side to grant to the inhabitants of the countries above ceded the liberty of the Catholic religion. He will consequently give the most express and the most effectual orders to his new Roman Catholic subjects may profess the worship of their religion according to the rites of the Romish Church, as far as the laws of Great Britain permit. His Britannic Majesty Father agrees that the Spanish inhabitants or others who have been subjects of the Catholic King in the said country may retire with all safety and freedom wherever they think proper, and may sell their estates, provided it be to His Britannic Majesty's subjects, and bring away their effects as well as their persons without being restrained in their immigration under their pretense whatsoever, except that of debts or of criminal prosecutions, the term limited for this immigration being fixed to the space of 18 months, to be computed from the day of the exchange of the ratifications of the present treaty. It is moreover stipulated that His Catholic Majesty shall have power to cause all the effects that may belong to him to be brought away, whether it be artillery or other things. So, question: did France and Great Britain return conquered and colonized land to the indigenous people of the said land? Or did France and Great Britain continue to keep the conquered lands under colonial occupation by ceding and retroceding lands to each other in Articles 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, and 20, which is what I just read, of the 1763 Treaty of Paris between France and Great Britain? The answer is the second part. France and Great Britain continue to keep the conquered lands under colonial occupation by ceding and retroceding lands to each other in Articles 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, and 20 of the 1763 Treaty of Paris between France and Great Britain. So we're reading in the treaties that, like, we're seeing it with our own eyes, that France, Great Britain, none of these colonial powers ceded the land or ceded the land back to the indigenous people. They kept it amongst themselves. 1800 third treaty of San Ildefonso. Article 3. His Catholic Majesty promises and undertakes on his part to retrocede to the French Republic 6 months after the full and entire execution of the above conditions and provisions regarding His Royal Highness the Duke of Parma, the colony of province of Louisiana, with the same extent that it now has in the hands of Spain, and that it had when France possessed it, and such as it ought to be according to the treaty subsequently concluded between Spain and other states. So did Spain return the conquered and colonized land to the indigenous people of the said land, or did Spain continue to keep the conquered land under colonial occupation by retroceding it to France in Article 3 of the 1800 Third Treaty of San Ildefonso? And the answer is the second part. Spain continued to keep the conquered land under colonial occupation by retroceding it to France in Article 3 of the 1800 Third Treaty, in the 1800, the Third Treaty of San Ildefonso. So this is 1783 definitive peace treaty between Great Britain and the United States. Article 1. His Britannic Majesty acknowledges the said United States, viz., New Hampshire, Massachusetts Bay, Rhode Island, and Providence Plantations, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia to be free and independent states, that he treats with them as such, and for himself, his heirs, and successors relinquishes all claims to the government propriety and territorial rights of the same in every part thereof.
And this is 1783.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Continuation, this is Article 2 of the same treaty, and that all disputes which might arise in future on the subject of the boundaries of the said United States may be prevented. It is hereby agreed and declared that the following are and shall be their boundaries, viz., from the northwest angle of Nova Scotia, viz., that angle which is formed by a line drawn due north from the source of St. Croix River to the highlands along the said highlands which divided those rivers that empty themselves into the river St. Lawrence, from those which fall into the Atlantic Ocean to the northwesternmost head of Connecticut River, thence down along the middle of the river to the 45th degree of north latitude, from thence by a line due west on said latitude until it strikes the river Iroquois or Cataracoy. thence along the middle of said river into Lake Ontario, through the middle of said lake until it strikes the communication by water between the lake and Lake Erie, thence along the middle of said communication into Lake Erie, through the middle of said lake until it arrives at the water communication between that lake and Lake Huron, thence along the middle of said water communication into the Lake Huron, thence through the middle of said lake to the water communication between the lake and Lake Superior, thence through Lake Superior northward